We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
We have breaking news. ABC has just announced here that they will be preempting the very well-known show Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely. That's confirmed by ABC, and it comes at a very tense time with many of the issues we've been covering tonight. There was a backlash on the right because Jimmy Kimmel, after the Charlie Kirk shooting, made the statement that he viewed, quote, new lows with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and with everything they can to score political points from it, end quote. I've just read part of what Jimmy Kimmel had said.
This is the book of Job, chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Shalom, shalom, Akim. Before I begin, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Chakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. All right, peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect, and to the few sincere Akwat who listen in truth and sincerity. All right, I'm the brother Gabari Allah, coming at you with another lesson. And this lesson is going to be based off the whole, what's his name? Jimmy Kimmel. His whole situation of being fired. Okay, now, with everything going on, we understand that this devil does everything, with an instinct, okay, with something in mind. All right, but this is this was viewed as a direct attack of the First Amendment, okay, because a lot of people are saying that he has all he did was state an opinion, okay, and he lost his job over it, okay, which pretty much takes away the First Amendment right, which is the freedom of speech. Okay, and we understand where this is going already. We know that little by little they're gonna start, going after those people who pretty much target these controversial subjects and matters, which are which are the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites making these lessons, the Akim, the elder apostles, the brothers, who are in this ministry, who make lessons of these topics, okay? And we understand that Esau is going to be doing the best he can and and all he can, to try to silence the truth ultimately, so that's why I opened up with the book of Job, chapter 5 and verse 12, okay, which says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty. All right, and Esau is a crafty individual, okay? Esau, this is as Job 9:24 says, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. He covered it to the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay, so Esau is a very crafty individual who pretty much wiped out, um, our history and replaced it with his history. That's why you have um, so-called terms as whitewashing. And there's another term that the elder apostles use a lot, and the elders use, but I forget what the term is called. But it's a term pretty much where you destroy old artifacts and old things that prove an existence of something and pretty much wipe it away and replace it. Okay, and I forget what it's called, but for the sake of this lesson, I'll just say it's whitewashing, which is more broad because it's not um there's a better word for it. It's not whitewashing. There's a better word for it, but I can't think of it at the top of my tongue. But anyways, it says Salaki, it says he disappointed the crafty. Salaki, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right, when you look up the word of this, when you look up the word enterprise, okay, it goes back into real quick. Let me grab it. All right, to Shayal,
Strong's H 8454. Tushia. Tushia.
to Shia. Okay, so it's a Strong's H 8454 to Shia. All right, and it means wisdom, sound, knowledge, success, sound or efficient wisdom, abiding success. Okay, sound or efficient wisdom, abiding success of the effect of sound wisdom. All right, so it disappoints their wisdom. Okay, it disappoints, what they thought was, their plan pretty much. Okay, their plan because they cannot um go against the Lord. Okay, so we understand where this is heading. We understand that these things are pretty much targeting, the First Amendment right, so that when all hell breaks loose and when this devil really starts coming down, he has an excuse, and it's already been embedded in the minds of these individuals. All right, so this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay, and we know that Esau is the physical counterpart of Satan, the spiritual world, So we understand that Esau has done things in the past, and he is not above, using other tactics. Okay, he is not above those things. He is actually beneath them. He will use anything to get ahead, because that's how Esau rode. That's how Esau rode, man. So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, and I'm going to start at verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Here's the point, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right, and that's exactly what this devil is trying to do. This devil knows he has a short time. This devil knows that everything's starting to crumble. Okay, the people know it. The because you have to understand that the citizens are the last people to know. The last people to notice. So the elites already notice this shit's crumbling. These people already know that this shit is crumbling and this shit is going downhill already. It's all fucking going downhill, and there was nothing, slack here. There's nothing that they will be able to do, because ultimately it's the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's plan, you know. So these videos are really important to keep, in mind, and keep, watching and surfacing, because you never know what's gonna happen, especially with this whole slacky, bear with me. All right, but this is the book of Mark, chapter 13 and verse 9. Okay, and I'm gonna start. I'll just start at verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must need be, but the end shall not be yet. Okay, so we hear these rumors of wars. We hear things that are happening around the world, around the globe, and we see that there are constant, updates on the, war in Ukraine and whatnot, and other wars that are stemming from that war. Okay, we have all those drone strikes. You have all these other nations who are willing to already pretty much throw nukes. So we see that these nations are already willing to go into battle. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, and we're gonna see these things in the end times. Okay, it says, but take good, Slakia, but take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils, and in the synagogues ye shall be beaten, and ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them. So exactly, because we preach this Bible, because we preach this ministry, this truth, we are going to be persecuted as a people, as as the elect. Okay, because they're already targeting Jake. They're already targeting Jake. And you see it with everything that's going on. Labeling Jake as very aggressive, labeling Jake as killers and this, that, and the third. You know, these things are often really Salaki. These things are Salaki. These things are often put into the brains of these citizens and these individuals so that they can back them once they come down with full wrath. Okay, and they're going to come down for the brothers first and foremost. That's going to be the number one target, because they're going to try to overthrow this ministry, but they won't be able to. That's why I read that he disappointed the devices of the crafty, Salaki, because the Lord isn't going to allow that to happen. Verse 10, and the gospel must be published among all nations. But when they shall lead you and deliver you up, take no thought beforehand what ye shall speak, neither do ye premeditate. But whatsoever shall be given you in that hour, that ye speak ye. For it is not ye that speak, but the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, man. And that's what we have above everything else. This Holy Spirit, this Ruach HaKodesh. That's what we have above these other people, above these other nations, above, Esau himself. This Spirit, man. So, this whole Jimmy Kendall thing, I thought it was a unique situation. As he's someone who a lot of people would watch. I guess I didn't really pay attention to him. I didn't really watch him, but a lot of people watched him, man, and it just shows you that this devil is starting to come down, and putting that First Amendment in danger. So Lord willing was edifying. Lord willing was uplifting. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Double honor to the elders and apostles. Give millstone. We will teach you all peace, salutation unto the elect.